It's time for the Bird Brains. News and notes about the Baltimore Orioles and their minor league affiliates. With our own Bird Brain hosts, Dave Bisecker,
Wait till next
Jeff
year.
Baker.
Single A.
Buckle up, sit back, and enjoy. You never know what's coming with the Bird Brains.
We are a single A show.
Yeah, but not even double A.
No, we're high. But I will say
We're high A, which is Frederick.
Yeah, that's great news.
That's a good way to start the program. I mean, Aberdeen was the high A team for the Orioles for the last 10 years,
right?
Yeah. And we just got word. It was. We just got word now that they're going to bring the high A team back to Frederick.
Yeah, there was some disgruntled city council members in Aberdeen. They didn't like the way the team was or wasn't paying. Let's just say they had a lot of internal town politics. And
there's going to be renovations to Nimio Field too.
Yeah,
so that's good.
So Frederick was one of the real heartbroken places because they supported their team.
They did.
They did nothing to deserve being cut out of an affiliated team. So. So the rookie ball team and the single A team are now going to flip-flop.
Yeah.
And
Aberdeen, good for Frederick.
Yeah, good for Frederick and good for us because we're physically closer there.
That's right.
So if we want to go see all these prospects, which, by the way, we want to welcome our Southern Information Desk,
That's right.
Derek. Welcome back, Derek.
Back,
Derek's got a he's got a complete rundown of all of the trade deadline pickups.
And what a list that is.
Yeah. There were 16 guys that we got. What did we trade away? 9 guys? Is that all total?
That sounds right.
9 in one trade. The one trade that we made to San Diego, that we got six prospects.
Right. So it was, we gave up 9, we get 16 back.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to unpack there. Before we do that, just because this is a baseball show. The Orioles are now 52-63 and completely out of contention.
Absolutely out of it.
And so we've kind of made that clear in the last week or two.
The moves that have been made obviously indicate that. We're 2-4 since the trade deadline too.
Right. Well, and we'll talk about the trades, but if you look real hard or even just glance at it, you'll see that they pretty much peeled away most of their established bullpen.
Right.
So I think we can say that this is going to be a struggle to complete games through the rest of the year.
Oh yeah, after the fifth inning, it's going. It's going to be an experience for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And to me, you got to kind of manage things a little differently because of that. If you're Tony Mansolino, I mean, I don't think you can. I think you have to give a lot of these starters a little bit more lead.
Oh,
here.
Absolutely, they need a lead. Yeah,
and we didn't necessarily see that this week.
A primary example of that would be that game that Povich pitched.
Right,
the other
week.
He
comes off the injured list.
He's throwing a game. Who was that?
He was. It
was
doesn't
against
matter.
The Phillies.
It was against the Phillies,
and he gives them 5 2/3 innings.
Mm-hmm.
The guy gives up a run in the first inning, gives up 2 runs in the third inning, pitches 2 shutout innings after that. Gets 2 outs in the 6th. Gives up a single. That was only the 4th hit that he had given up in the whole ball game.
Right.
And Manso comes in and takes him out.
Right. And 8 runs later, they got the 3rd out of that inning.
Exactly. I mean, here's a young kid who's trying to prove himself in the major leagues. And he's on the mound. He's given up 4 hits. He's still pitching strong. This is a situation where you want to see this guy get through that inning.
Right.
You want him to mature in situations just like that against a good team.
Right.
He's having a good game. You want him to throw after he gives up that single. How does he get out of that? How does he handle that?
Right.
And Mansolino comes out and takes him out. This is
and to bring in a substantially weakened bullpen.
There's nobody better out there right now to bring in other than the guy that's right now. It's on the mound.
That's right. Even 90 pitches in or
I'm
whatever.
excited. I'm talking fast.
Well, I'm emotional.
Well, he had me worked up that night. That's for sure.
And that's the other thing. And so I do think that given all of that,
yes,
and knowing the inside baseball, if you will, that Tony Mansolino knows about his team.
Oh, man!
He has earned a bird turd.
That's well
this week.
deserved.
Yeah,
well deserved.
You have to play this smarter than that, Tony.
Yeah.
we're going to be struggling anyway to get through games, but you just can't handle that.
And I don't know how the brain trust works on a team like that, but where's the other guys who are saying, now, where's the pitching staff? Where's the pitching coach staff that they have?
Right.
They have 3 guys down there who are basically pitching coaches. Where to tell him, hey, this is a great opportunity for this kid to pitch through.
Right.
I know he had 90 pitches.
Right.
He's given up 90 pitches, but
I agree. I'm 100% in agreement with you. You never really know anyway. Even if you have a great pen, you never know what you're bringing in.
Well, the other team at that point is saying, "Great, we're glad
yeah.
we're glad you took him out
thank
because
you.
he's kind of shutting us down right now."
That's exactly right. The other, and the other thing that has me just a little bit emotional is if you look at the fact that they not only went in and traded expiring contracts, but they went in and they got rid of the Ramon Uriases at the deadline, who were still under team control. Right. Andrew Kittredge still had a team option. I'm not quite sure what Mike Elias is thinking, but when he comes out in the press afterwards and he says, that we're building to be competitive in 2026, you too get a bird turd because you are lying to me. Unless you and I'll rescind this bird turd if in the middle of the off season I see huge money being dealt out from Baltimore to bring in free agents that are actually going to be able to stock the team.
But up to now, we haven't seen that.
That is not the way they operate.
After liftoff was declared 2 years ago, we have not seen that kind of commitment. Last year, they would not have had to invest as much money to make the team much better this year than what they're going to have to do. It's going to be much more expensive, and I think as Derek runs down through the list of guys that we did pick up, I mean, I don't mean to say that they didn't need to restock their farm system. I understand that. I was right up front saying they need to deal these guys that are on expiring contracts. What I was a little shocked about were the guys that they didn't deal. Or that they didn't have to deal that they did, and to me, I just think it's disingenuous to think that with this team, with this management, and we're learning a little bit about the ownership. By the way, a third bird turd.
Oh man!
Today, the Orioles announced the deletion of the 13 and 26 game Birdland member packages.
Oh, no.
Yes, they are no longer. They are now 20 game and 40 game. So I'm just telling you, I am no longer going to be a Birdland member. You
are rescinding your.
I am not rescinding that bird turd, but I am not going to re-up my tickets.
Cow.
They're taking my seats anyway. So I've got a lot of problems today with these guys in Baltimore. I'll just be straight up with you.
This is really testing your fandom right now.
Well, no, I will always be an Oriole fan. I mean, but the current regime right now is not doing things to me that is helping the fans jump on board and enjoy this team, because the window of competitive opportunity here is closing now on guys like Rutschman and Henderson and all that, because, hey, another thing, they haven't re-upped these guys either. They haven't extended their contracts. So, this window of opportunity that you have to really go deep in the playoffs, how about let's just win a playoff game, guys? But anyway, I have trouble seeing that happening in 2026. Now, unless there are huge investments made, the bullpen's going to have to be rebuilt, because they did not get any major league ready talent per se to speak of in all of the transactions that they made.
Did Dominguez have another year left, or was he a free agent?
No, he was a free agent. So I understand that. I understood the Soto move. I understood those guys that were on expiring contracts. But I just have a little bit of trouble then listening to the general manager come out and say, well, we're sorry for the way it went. And, well, okay, but, this is what we got. So, yeah, it's just a little emotional. But let's let's get on the positive side
Yeah,
of things.
I think
let's talk about Trevor Rogers.
he's a good guy to talk about.
Yeah, Trevor Rogers right now may be one of the best starters in the major leagues.
Right.
I don't mean to be, blowing smoke here, but he has coming up right now. He's got a 1.44 ERA
in 62 innings.
He started 10 games.
Right.
Let's see. He's walked 15 guys. And still
48. I have 48 strikeouts.
But here's the thing. He pitched in Chicago a complete 8-inning game.
He did.
And the O's were shut out 1-0. Now, he got the loss that day, but today he gets a bird of prey for that
Absolutely.
effort.
That's well deserving.
Yep.
Well deserving.
Yeah, he went 8 full innings. He faced 27 batters in those 8 innings. He
4 hits.
He allowed 4
1
hits
run.
and 1 run, and no walks.
You can't get much better than that.
He struck out 8. This guy is pitching as well as anybody right now, and that's the kind of thing that does give you hope for next year.
It does.
You're going to have the Kyle Bradish. He's nearing a return here at the end of the month.
Yeah.
I saw where Tyler Wells is now at Norfolk, and he is now pitching in his rehab starts. So there are some things that are working their way. I still think, with all of that being said, they need to go out and get a top of the rotation.
Oh, without
pitcher.
a doubt. Without a doubt. When you see all the injuries that happen in a pitching staff nowadays in the major leagues, you've got to have it. It's got to be deeper, and you've got to have that number one guy that's durable.
But with the emergence of Rogers and with Bradish, and let's temper our enthusiasm here. He'll be coming back from an injury, but his ceiling is very high.
Yes.
If you were to add a top of the rotation type guy, those two that's
a good 1-2-3.
That's a great 1-2-3. And if you throw daytime Dean in there, you got a pretty good 4.
That's right.
So there are things working in their favor. The bats seem to be coming alive a little bit. I mean, yes, they get shut out.
One nice improvement looks like Kobe Mayo's starting to get an idea.
You're right. Boy, he tanked the ball yesterday.
He's 4 for 10.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And he's looking a lot better at the plate.
Well,
he's batting .243 in his last 10 games.
Mm-hmm.
So we're seeing improvement there.
Right. And we will see coming August 15th. Just keep that date in mind, because right around August 15th is the time of the year when Major League can bring their players up and not jeopardize their rookie status.
That's what I was going to talk about next.
Right.
Absolutely. Because then you might start to see Basayo.
You definitely
and you're going to see, and you might see Beavers.
Dylan Beavers is absolutely tearing it up. We've seen Jeremiah Jackson, who the Orioles are really trying to give a showcase to here right now, because they're auditioning him for a utility job.
Yeah.
And they stuck him in the outfield. He's not really an outfielder. He's shown he needs some work in the outfield for sure. And everybody's wondering, well, why, when you have a stud like down at your AAA, why wouldn't you bring him up? Well, it's because they want to keep him eligible next year.
Right.
So when they bring him up and have him on the 40-man all year, if he would win the Rookie of the Year award, then they can get a draft. I get that. So everybody needs to just.
And they have a double possibility. It could be Basayo as Rookie of the Year.
That's right.
It could be Beavers as Rookie of the Year.
But
by the way, that Basayo is hitting .278, 23 home runs, 61 RBIs in only 248 at bats.
Right.
Beavers is hitting .309 with 18 home runs.
Yeah.
And 50 RBIs with 314 at bats. Now that's AAA. But hey, they're doing what they've got to do whenever they. By the way, Orioles have a law firm. Did you know that? Jackson & Jackson.
Wow.
Jackson Holiday.
We got
Jeremiah Jackson and Alex Jackson.
We got 14 minutes into this podcast and this radio show, and that's what we get.
Jackson.
This is why
sounds like a law firm.
This is why we're single A, Dave. I'm just telling you.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. What's a show without a good dad joke or something? Well, Derek, if you would, can you kind of run us down the trades, who the marquee guys are here that the Orioles picked up, and what made things go vroom here at the trade deadline?
Yeah. Trade deadline recap. So you guys remember, we talked about for the draft how starting pitching should be a point of emphasis. Well, their first four picks in the draft were all, position players, two catchers. They really addressed the pitching need in the lower levels of their system at the trade deadline here. The Orioles acquired 16 prospects throughout the month of July. 11 of those 16 are pitchers, and only two of them have appeared in AAA. So, let's run through some minor league prospects here.
So, basically, this is all lower level depth right now, and hopefully you hit on a couple of these guys, and they'll make an impact at some point. 2 or 3 years, you're talking 28, 29, right? Probably.
Yeah, you got some guys in AA. Let's run through them here. So I've got them in order of how highly they're graded in the Orioles farm system right now.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so the first guy up is Boston Bateman. He's a 19-year-old left-handed pitcher. He was kind of the centerpiece in the Padres trade for O'Hearn and Luriano.
Definitely.
Now, Dave mentioned they did get 6 players, but Boston Bateman's the highest rated. He was drafted in the second round in the 2024 draft out of high school. He was, at the time of the trade, the Padres' 4th best prospect. And he is now the Orioles' 6th best prospect.
Oh, that's
6'8", 240-pound lefty. And he has appeared in one game at Delmarva, allowing 1 earned run in 3 innings. So
is he a hard thrower?
See, upper 90s with a 60 grade curveball.
That's what I thought, because he has with San Diego he had 76 strikeouts in 71 innings.
Yeah, and I saw he pitched last night, and you said he only gave up 1 run in 3 innings. So getting his feet wet here on the East Coast, that's a big move for a young guy. So good for him.
Yep. Slater DeBron is the next guy on my list here. Now, the draft picks still aren't ranked in the system, but he's going to fall in somewhere between 6 and 10. And again, he was the guy that we picked with Tampa Bay's compensatory pick for the Brian Baker trade.
Okay.
So just one note on him: they signed him to an overslot bonus worth $4 million.
Right.
One
rich
slot
young
value
right for that. Yeah, crazy. Slot value for that pick was $2.6 million, so they went 1.4 over slot for him.
Yeah, good for him.
Do they get all rights to his music?
We'll see. Lil Slay.
Lil Slay.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Hey, I'll keep my eye on Lil Slay. But anyway, next guy on the list, Jerron Watts Brown, 22-year-old right-handed pitcher. He was acquired in the Sir Anthony Dominguez trade. And I got to disagree with you guys about that trade taking place in the middle of that doubleheader. I mean, they needed the Orioles, who cares if they win or lose? The Blue Jays needed a pitcher for that game. So they overpaid for a pitcher.
You think?
So I feel like they got a better prospect because they were playing the Blue Jays that day. Mm-hmm. So anyway, whatever. He was a 3rd-round pick out of Oklahoma State in 2023.
Right.
And he's now the Orioles' 9th best prospect for a doubleheader, trade for a reliever on an expiring contract. I think that's a pretty good return. Anyway, he was assigned to Double-A Chesapeake, and he has allowed 5 earned runs in 4 innings.
He's a reliever or a starter?
Well, I guess they'll figure that out. I mean, he's been starting, but the one thing I read up on a lot of these guys is they kind of project as relievers. Yeah. A lot of these pitchers.
He has 120. He has 121 strikeouts in 93 innings.
Wow.
Yeah, he started primarily for the Blue Jays.
Where does he hit in the Orioles system right now, roughly?
Ninth.
Ninth. He was 10th in the Blue Jays system.
Okay.
So I kind of like to see where they compare. It gives you an idea of how strong each of these systems are.
Yeah, and if you look for improvement, last year he had an ERA of 4.3. This year he has an ERA of 3.8.
Okay.
So he's dropped his ERA half.
Yeah, it's good.
Half a point.
Okay. So you kind of like that one then, Derek.
Well, I like the idea of
You like
they
the move.
traded a guy that they were going to trade anyway
Right.
to a team that was desperate for him at that moment.
Yeah.
And so, whatever, they lost the game. Like, who cares? All right.
It's true.
Cobb High. There's 162 of them. There are
That's
11
right.
games under 500.
We're Oriole
One
fans. Who
game.
cares, right?
Yeah. What's one game?
Yeah.
Cobb Hightower, 20-year-old shortstop. He was the next, the next highest rated guy in the Padres trade for O'Hearn and Laureano. He was their third round pick in 2024. So we got the Padres' second and third round pick from last year, out of high school. And he is ranked as the Orioles' number 21 prospect now. And he has been assigned to low A Delmarva.
He's down there with Boston Bateman.
Yep. That's the Padres, guys.
Yep.
So they're probably rooming together. Next guy up. Probably are. Wellington Aracena, 20-year-old right-handed pitcher. He's at high A. He was, acquired in the Soto trade.
Right.
And he was signed as part of their international class in 2022. He is right now the Orioles' number 22 prospect in the system. And he threw 4 2/3 scoreless innings at Low A Delmarva and was promoted to, I guess, high A, what will be Frederick.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he'll be in Frederick.
But he's in Aberdeen right now, I guess, still. Wilfred De La Cruz, 17-year-old shortstop, still in rookie ball. That's who the Orioles got for Kittredge. So he came from the Cubs. He was part of their international class this past year. Switch hitter. Could develop into a 20 home run hitter, they said, and he is ranked as their number 23 prospect now, the Orioles.
Yep.
So
Elias keeps up with his habit of taking shortstops.
Young shortstops.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and they say he's got a 20 home run potential, so he may even turn into a third baseman maybe. The last guy here that's ranked in the top 30 in their system now is Anthony Nunez. He was acquired for Cedric Mullins. He's 24 years old. He's actually in AAA. He could be the first guy out of all these guys that gets promoted as a bullpen piece. I mean, you could potentially see him this year.
Yeah, I think didn't he pitch a game like at Chesapeake, Double A Chesapeake, and then they immediately moved him up? Was that who I'm thinking of?
One scoreless appearance at Double A Chesapeake, promoted to Norfolk.
Yep.
Got a fastball, 96.
A glance at his stats this year. He has an ERA of 1.5. 42 innings pitched, 63 strikeouts in 42 innings pitched, and a whip of 0.7.
Yeah. So he could be another guy, maybe, if they want to bring up late in the year.
You might see him in late August.
They wouldn't jeopardize his rookie status.
Right.
So, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that's 7 guys that are now in the top 30 ranked prospects in the Orioles system.
Right.
And, you've got 3 in your top 10. So that's a nice influx of talent. Who's to say if, how many or if any will pan out or to what, how good any of them will be. But, considering that most of the guys you traded, I know the Liriano and Urias and Kittredge, you potentially could bring back next year. But how big of a role were any of them going to play? I mean, Liriano maybe. I like the sell off
Yeah.
personally. You've got to replace. I mean the Orioles farm system's not very
Not
good.
very good right
So
now.
Well, it wasn't. It
no,
wasn't
so
deep. You know, they had so many guys that were such high picks. They were untouchable.
Sure.
They were undealable. Now they could actually use some of this talent that they've picked up in trades and in other deals. You know, they don't necessarily have to bring them the whole way. They can use them as trade chips now.
And when you mentioned Laureano, when you look back on Laureano, I thought too, man, I hate to see him go. But then again, he was having a career year with the Orioles. Yeah. And so he's not the kind of guy that you expect to have that kind of a year every year based on his history.
No, and now these guys are going to be able to play in, possibly postseason baseball, most likely. So is there anybody else on the list, Derek, that you're kind of putting a star beside that maybe isn't in the top 30? Was there anything that stood out to you?
here's one to note. So the Ramon Gomez they got for Mullins. He's not in the top 30, but he's somebody to keep an eye on. He's 20 years old. He has a fastball that has reached 104.
Whoa.
So yeah,
that's almost as hard as I threw.
I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. So naturally,
Sid Finch territory.
Control.
Wow.
Yeah. He's walked 25 batters in 35 innings.
In other words, where's the plate?
Yeah, really.
Yeah. So 12.3 strikeouts per 9. I like him,
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, why not?
He's got to figure out one other pitch and then how to throw it over the plate. And boom,
13
Well, and
the other guy you guys mentioned about trading Urias. So the guy they got back for him is Twine Palmer, 20-year-old right-handed pitcher. He was a 19th rounder in 2024 out of a junior college. And so they basically gave him away.
Yeah.
Ramon Urias.
Yeah.
So that's an odd one. I mean, I guess they don't see him in the plans for next year, and they tried Mateo out in the outfield this year, so maybe they're thinking of bringing him back as just a utility infielder, and then that takes away Urias' spot. I don't know, but that was the head scratcher.
It seems like they could have gotten more for him than what they got. There's no doubt about that.
By the way, I did look this up because I was looking over these names and I'm like, wow, this is quite a list of names. We have a Butterworth, we have a Boston, which doesn't really play well when you're coming up through the Baltimore system. Boston Bateman, Brandon Butterworth, and guess Twine Palmer's middle name.
Is it Jim?
No, it's Roland. Twine Roland. Now, what parent names their child, unless they want him consistently being beaten up and, thrown into a locker, Twine Roland Palmer? I don't know. I just found the names were kind of interesting when I was going through them. So, well, Derek, I tell you what, we appreciate you taking the time and rolling through all of the draft picks, and I know there were a couple, but the big ones are the ones that are going to end up in your top 30, and that was a pretty good rundown.
That's a good job.
Yeah. So, and they got a Wellington too.
A Wellington.
Yeah, a Wellington. Thank you, Lovey. But anyway, that's
the guy they got for Charlie Morton actually is worth bringing up too, because I think the Morton trade's the only trade we didn't talk about who they got back. So they got Micah Ashman, 22-year-old left-handed pitcher, 2024 draft pick. He has already reached Double-A. At the time of the trade, he had a 1.60 ERA.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Love those left-handers.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. So he's not in the top 30 prospects though. So I mean, you have to wonder what their top 30 list will look like. Next year.
Sure.
Yeah.
So. Well, thank you, Derek. That's going to be our wrap for our show.
That was a
this week.
multifaceted show, ladies and
It
gentlemen.
was. We got to complain and vent,
right.
and then we got to look at the bright side of the future. So, again, thanks, Derek, for joining us this week. For the Bird Brains, I'm Jeff Baker.
I'm Dave Biesecker. Go.
And Derek Baker.
There's Derek.
Go.
Oh!